Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another video. We've got some breaking news. There's a new list that recently came out by IGEA, which is a website, a group of people that rank different things. They rank pharma companies, they rank CRO companies. But anyway, today's video is the top 10 CROs in 2018. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up this graphic here on the screen, as you should be able to see right now. And it has ranked the top 10 CROs in 2018. So take a look at this right here, and then I'm going to move over to the other side of it where they discuss how they ranked them, and then we'll go through the rankings. So number one, they looked at revenue. 70% of the ranking was done by revenue. Then another 10% was done by, they ranked by annual revenue growth for over the past year. Then they did a 5% on net income, and then 5% on expense ratio, and then another 5% on revenue per employee, and then a scope of service portfolio by 5%. So clearly this ranking is not by anything else other than the amount of money that they make. So that's what this is. It's not done by who provides the best service for the sponsor. It's not done by who has the best culture, who is the best to work for, or anything like that. This is strictly revenue and how much money is made. So now that we know that, and you can see they did revenue, which isn't profit. That's just strictly how much money they made before expenses. So, and then the next best thing was, did they increase from the previous year in how much money they brought in? And then I'm surprised that net income is only 5%, because that's really where you make your profit. So basically profit was only 5%, which I think is interesting, because typically if you're a business, you would care more about how much money you made net after the year, not just how much money you brought in. Because if you brought in $1 million, but you spent $1 million, you didn't make any money. So that's interesting that they weighted so heavily just the revenues and not net income. But anyway, let's go over here to, this is 2018, fresh off the press. And number one is LabCorp. Now, LabCorp is a big conglomerate, and they shot up these rankings because they recently bought Covance, as you can see here, but they also recently bought Chiltern. And I'm sure in the past they've also bought some other CROs before, but the most recent ones are Covance and Chiltern. So now they have the most revenue, just squeaking by IQVIA at $10 billion. Then I have an income ratio of 12.14%, of 12, I think 12 to 14% maybe. I don't know why there's a comma there. But anyway, so with 31 service portfolio units. But yeah, LabCorp is number one, and they're not just a CRO. They have other businesses as well. LabCorp has other businesses as well. Like they test urine and they do labs and things of that nature. You've probably seen that. But they also are in the CRO business as well. A lot of people may not have known that, because I believe Covance and Chiltern still operate kind of as their own entity, but are owned by LabCorp. So a lot of people may not have known that. But for the longest time, IQVIA, formerly Quintiles, but this is their new name, IQVIA, was the number one CRO. And they still are in a lot of ways if you consider LabCorp a CRO or not. But they got $9.73 billion in revenue. And then third place is Syneos, who had 2.67, just squeaking by Parexel. Syneos recently went through a transition as well. They merged INC Research, so this is formerly INC Research, and Inventive Health to make Syneos Health, effectively doubling their revenue. INC was a $1.1 billion company, and I think Inventive was like a 1.4 or something billion dollar company. And they came together and they had about $2.67 billion in revenue. So those are the big three that you have: LabCorp, IQVIA, and Syneos. And then you reach into these other ones, as you can see. But LabCorp and IQVIA, 10 billion, 9 billion, those are big. And then all the way down here to 2 billion is everyone else. So everyone else is playing in the, I guess not even $1 billion to $2 billion range. We've got 3 to 9 people doing that. So then you've got Parexel, 2.4 billion, then PRA, 2.5, and then PPD. You've got all the P's. And I sometimes mix these companies up. PRA, PPD, Parexel, you got a lot of P's there. So they're all in that $2 billion range. And then below that, Charles River Lab, Icon, and then I've never heard of this company, Wuxi AppTech. Don't know anything about them. I'm going to have to look them up. Never heard of them before. But judging by their name, they probably do maybe some kind of tech, maybe some kind of medical device stuff. Maybe they specialize in that. I'm not quite sure. And then you got MedPace, who I've heard about as well. So these are the top 10 CROs of 2018. Now I want to compare this list to some previous years that they've done. And remember, this is just on revenue, so it's probably going to look pretty similar to this year. So let's go over here. Let's check out this 2016 one. So we're zooming in here. Now, why would you look at that? Remarkably similar. Let's open this, a new tab. Remarkably similar, except you got Quintiles as number 1. LabCorp, Parexel, PPD. They're all up there. INC, PRA, Icon. Then you still got Wuxi, Charles River, Inventive Health. So look at this. Inventive Health was at 2.3 billion back then. So Inventive Health and INC merged. So now they're at 2.6 billion together somehow. Oh, they were losing money. Income ratio -7%. But yeah, so it's the same companies, literally the same companies. I don't think there's not a company on here. And then we got Wuxi as well. So there's literally the same companies. They just reordered them. But look, in 2018, Quintiles has been making more money. 6 billion in 2016. They were at, 9 billion in 2018. So they've been making money. LabCorp grew by $1 billion. So, that's just what it is. These are the top CROs. And I made this video specifically because a lot of people are interested in getting into clinical research, and use this list of companies as a good starting point. So if you want to work for a CRO, look at this list, and these are the people that are likely to be hiring. In a strong industry, these are the people that are going to be hiring. So go to these companies' websites and look for the open positions and look for any of the positions that you're interested in. You're interested in investigator payments, look for those positions. You're interested in clinical trial assistant positions, look for those positions on the website. That's one of the best ways to apply in clinical research. You've got Indeed, you've got LinkedIn, but also going to the individual website of these companies on the career pages. They tend to keep that pretty up to date. And I know people who have gotten jobs that way. At the next step in that is if you can get a referral from somebody. And I would even cold email people on LinkedIn for it, because sometimes they may know the recruiter, or they can email the recruiter if you can figure that out. And that will increase your chances dramatically. But also there's something in it for them as well. If you get successfully hired on, there's probably going to be some kind of small bonus for them. It could be $1,000, a couple $1,000. So they should have a strong incentive to want to refer you. So do not feel bad or awkward about asking somebody to refer you into one of these companies. So I would definitely do that on LinkedIn if you haven't done so already. But look at these companies as a starting point and go from there. These are the people that are going to be hiring right now in 2018, because the jobs market is pretty good in clinical research right now. So thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to email us at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com for any inquiries you may have. Comment down below. Who's your favorite CRO? Yeah, comment down below who's your favorite CRO. And as always, you can email us if you want to get your resume reviewed, if you're looking to get into clinical research or make a career change, or just want to tighten up your resume. We do have a resume review program. So email us to learn more at eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. Take care, guys.